Okay, I am here today with the lovely Mandy, who is graduating from the Mom Restore system. Yay! And
Yay!
Mandy came into my world a few months ago. Well, not a few months ago. I knew her before that. Actually, I had worked with her in a fitness setting, but she was really wanting to work on her nutrition and deal with some big issues, some health issues that she had coming up. So I'm just so excited to hear your story and share um, everything that's happened over the last few months. So let's start at the very beginning, like when you and I first talked about what I do in the Mom Restore system and how I help moms with lifestyle change. What was it about this that you were like, yes, this is what I need right now?
Um, Actually, I'm looking back at some of my notes that we took when we first got together. And you asked me where I was on a scale of being ready to make lifetime changes. And you asked me, like, rate yourself from 1 to a 10. And I drew to the side a staircase. And at the top, it says what I want. And at the bottom was me. And I
Mm,
circled the 10. And I think it's because I had previously tried every type of diet or system that was out there on the market, and it would work for a little while. And then, because of lack of the continual support, it was so easy to step away from it. And
yeah,
then when I would go back to try it again, maybe a year later, 6 months later, I always went in with really high expectations that I was going to get those same quick results that I got the first time. And I never could get my foot on one of those steps to even try to go anywhere.
yeah,
And I think, like you said, from when you and I first met, I saw how important nutrition is to you,
mhm,
and how you make it work for your family. Your family's not exactly like mine, but you make it work, and you never have said it's going to be easy, but it is doable.
yeah,
And I'd made up my mind. I was ready to try something different that was doable. And just knowing that you and the other moms in the system would be right beside me,
yeah.
coaching me and supporting me all the way through.
I love
So
that.
it just it was mind over matter. I just had to decide, this is
Mhm.
it, that I'm going to do something, great with this. And
Yeah, I love that. And you're
it's
right,
been
right? And
attainable.
even all those past times that you started, you had to make a decision then as well. So that is that no matter what you do, you have to make that decision
Mhm.
as a mom that, okay, I'm going to prioritize my health now. This is important to me. So absolutely. But yeah, like the difference in the system and the expectation of like changing everything all at once versus
Right.
taking those stairs one at a time.
Mhm.
I love that that connected with you because that's a huge part of what we need
What
to
you
do
do.
when we're so busy
Yeah.
and overwhelmed. And it's
And
just
and
great.
I mean, I love the layout of your program, the way that you walk us through the modules, and it's a step-by-step thing. And I
Yeah.
could go back and listen, and it's like you have the Megan voice in your head. And so it's like, what would she say, or what would she think, or how would she advise? And of course you're always accessible, but at the moment you start to hear the things that I've heard you guide us through from all the different modules, and
Yeah.
it all clicks. And as I still go to make choices between things, I can often still hear you say, okay, this is what you need to do. and
That's
and
great.
it also just took, in science class, I learned a lot of things about balancing your blood sugars. We studied the body, like I guess in biology, but you took it right back to the very beginning, I mean, to the basics, and then just started building on that. That's another one of those aha moments that I
Yeah.
really needed,
Yeah.
to understand what
Yep.
it is that my body needs. And okay, then now this is what we're going to do to make
Yeah.
this work for me.
That's so great. Yeah, because there's so much information. We have all of the information out there, but it can feel really overwhelming when you're looking at how do I actually do this in my life. So
Mhm.
to give that
Right.
breaking down of things, I'm so glad that worked for you.
And
Now
you build
you
such, I was going to say, you build such trust with us too. Everything that you said, I didn't feel like I had to go and research it. Well, is that really right? Or is, yeah, it's just, this is the way to do it. And
Yeah,
this is how the program works. Yeah.
great. That's great. So when you came in, you were actually on medication for
Right.
type 2 diabetes, right?
Right.
And
I
so
was
at that
taking,
point, like what was your biggest struggle, and like what was your biggest hope in getting to the end of this program, like where you would be?
um, one of the big influences for me was I look at my mother and I look at my mother-in-law. My mom just turned 79. My mother-in-law is 83. My mother-in-law, even though she has some back issues, you would think she was a 60-year-old in just her activity level and how she can still get in the floor with grandchildren, and she's active and does so much for all of us as a family. And then you've got my mom, who really could use a system like this, probably needs to have her knees replaced.
Mm,
She's been dealing with cancer, and so she's she should be able to run and do things and be as active as my mother-in-law is, but she's not. It's her health that has hindered her.
yeah,
And I look at the two of them, and one big thing to me is, my daughters are 21 and 24. And, let's say in the next 5 years or so, the oldest gets married. Well, I want to be like my 83-year-old mother-in-law. I want to be able to be active and be a part of my grandchildren's lives.
yeah.
Also, I mean, just for me as an individual, I love to go to the beach. I like, going to places that you have to walk maybe to get to whatever it is you're trying to go see. And
Mm,
I needed the stamina, I needed the ability, I needed the strength to do those things.
yeah,
And if I don't start taking care of myself now, no one else is going to do it for me. It has to be a me thing.
absolutely. Absolutely. That's so good. And that's so
And
interesting that you have those two models in your life, because we don't
right,
always naturally think forward to those long-term consequences of what we're doing right now. We very much just live in the moment, and
right,
this is easy right now, this feels good. But that's really powerful to see, if I keep going on this path, this is where I'm going to end up, or
right.
I can start down this path and this is where I'm going to end up. So that's
And
awesome.
like you asked about the medicine too. So going into this program, I was on 2,000 milligrams of metformin a day and one Ozempic injection weekly. And halfway through the program, I was able to completely come off the metformin.
Yeah,
So I still do the Ozempic injection just to keep things balanced. But some of the other medicines, I was on Lipitor for cholesterol. I've been able to come off of that.
oh my goodness.
Um, so, it's just lots of overall healthy lifestyle changes. And those things inspire me to keep doing what I'm doing. Like, why would I ever want to go back to where I was?
Oh, of course. And your doctor, what did your doctor say
Oh,
when?
she was so impressed. She said, "Look at you. You're just getting so skinny." She said, "You're going to be bikini ready come summer." And I just kind of looked at her and she said, "I guarantee you, you're just going to do so well." And so it's as I was getting ready for us to start this call, I went back and looked. I wrote down my starting weight and measurements when we started on the 28th of February. And I weighed again, did all that again on May 24th, and then again today. So in a total of that span of time from the end of February until the end of June, I've lost 10 and a half inches
Oh
and
my,
8.6 pounds.
that's amazing.
So that's
That's
the
amazing.
frosting on the cake to be able to look at that,
Absolutely.
you know?
That's really exciting. And it's so interesting. I just want to point this out because that's a lot of inches. That's a
Yeah.
lot of inches. And a lot of people, we do measurements for this
Mhm.
reason, because a lot of people would look at that and be like, well, 8, 9 pounds, you know, you would expect I would do more. And we talk about that in the Mom Restore system, how it's actually not about your weight. It is not about that number on the scale, because it's not representative of everything else that is
Mhm.
happening in your body. And I love that you've seen that. So we've seen the inches come off. We've seen coming off medications for
Mhm.
cholesterol, diabetes. How about your your energy levels and your activity and all of that?
It has been amazing. As you and I were talking a little earlier, I just finished Vacation Bible School last week. So that was 5 full days, just on the go, on your feet. And I never once said like, oh, I need to sit down, or, I'm just exhausted. I just kept going. Even when the day was done and all the children left the campus, I still had things to do.
Mhm.
And I felt energized to do it instead of feeling slow and sluggish. So
Yeah.
that's a really good thing. I'm sleeping great at night. As
Mhm.
much as I love to take naps, I don't seem to take as many as I used to. Like, Sunday afternoon, get home from church, I'm going to eat lunch, take a nap. No, that I've got other things that I can be doing.
That's awesome.
So
That's so, so
energy
good.
is a good thing.
So yeah, and we worked on that energy and getting all that balance so that you can then be more active. And so you've been doing the 20-minute workouts as
I
well. And how
have.
is that feeling? Like, because you had taken quite a big break from exercise. So how was that jump from I'm not doing anything to doing the 20 minutes a day for you? Did that
On the
feel
front
good?
end, I was super nervous about it, but once I got my little area set up in our den and got all my equipment and just started it, just did the first one. And the way that you have put all that together, I mean, it feels like you're right there next to me, like we're in class together.
Yeah.
And truly, as you tell us over and over, 20 minutes is not a whole lot to give and do. Before it, the 20 minutes is done. And sometimes I've caught myself saying, well, I wish it was a little bit longer.
More.
That felt
Yeah.
good. I want to do more. And I've noticed where I can pick up heavier weights to do some of the exercises, which is a good thing. And I
Mhm.
also love on days where I feel like I needed stretching. I can do my workout. Maybe it's working arms or legs, but I can go back to one of those of just the stretches and do that
Absolutely.
just to, kind of give my body a little something extra. But
Yeah.
it's just become a nice natural part of my day. My alarm goes off, I drink my water, had a little bite of breakfast, get my
Right.
exercising in, and I've learned how I need to start replenishing back in,
That's
to
so
my
great.
body with the proteins and just good stuff. And
Yeah. That's
it's
so
it
great.
all
I'm
feels
just so
natural.
excited. I'm just so excited for you.
Oh,
And so this is one of the most important questions that I always ask everybody, because I tell you going into this is not, I'm going to go through these 12 modules and then I'm done, right? That this is
right.
actually laying out
Mhm.
a foundation, like empowering you with what you need to go forward. So coming out of this now, like how doable is this for you going forward as a lifestyle change? Is this
Oh,
something you can sustain?
definitely. I will never go back to the way things were before. You've showed me that it's a way, that it's easy. I can feel it in my body. I can see
Mhm.
it on the paper when I look at the pounds that have come off and the inches that have come off. And like I said, it's just become a piece of my daily routine. And I mean, you taught us, yeah, you could eat a donut or you could eat a hamburger if that's really what you want. But I've gotten to the point sometimes maybe we are, let's say, at a local place to get a hamburger, half of it and I'm done. Or I can order
Mhm.
a turkey burger in place of just a hamburger. And,
Mhm.
I still get satisfied. I feel good. I
You
feel
don't
great
feel like
about my
you're
choice that I've
restricting,
made.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
So
that.
this will be something that I will, just always continue. I want to, continue being the better version of me, because no one else, I mean, you can tend to everybody else in your family and, help out friends, but no one can tend to you as well as you can. So
Yeah.
you have to do it for yourself.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I want to go back to something that you said early on, because you talked about like having the system, but also having the support, the group and the accountability. And I thought it was really interesting because in the beginning, you really leaned in, you were in the coaching calls every week, and you were and we need that accountability so much
Right.
forward. And I've noticed as you've come towards this last month, you've been like flying on your own and have required less of that, which I think is so cool, because it's really a testament to what the support does for you.
Mhm.
It builds your confidence and shows you that you can do this, right? You
Right.
can fly on your own. And that's the goal, is that I send you out and you've
Mhm.
got everything that you need to be able to keep going. And so I think
On, I've got my notebook here, and every time I've listened to a module, I mean, I've just written down page after page
oh, that's
of
amazing.
notes. And so
Yeah.
it's great, that I've got that I can go back to, and
Yeah.
if I
And
need a
can you think
refresher
of
on something.
any can you think of any specific moments throughout your journey? Because you said, you knew that you needed that accountability and support, or you might stop. Were there any moments where things got really hard for you, and that having that group call, or even just having me there for support, made a difference for you to keep
Yes.
going?
The hardest part for me was when my mom was receiving her radiation treatments and the 3 weeks that she lived at our house. So she brought all the snacks and all the things that she is so comfortable in eating.
Mhm.
And I, I mean, not that I was hiding anything from her, but I had not told her that I was doing the mom restore system. So she brings all this stuff in and she expects us just to help her eat it up. Or if it didn't get eaten while she was here during the week, she'd leave it for the weekend. And
Yeah.
I would just toss it. I thought, no, these are temptations. These are things I don't need. And so that was a wonderful time to reach out to you and listening into the calls and, hear other people say, well, we've been somewhere or we've had visitors and we've had all this extra stuff brought in. And I can politely say, no, I'm not going to join you in eating, say, a slice of cake, but instead I'm going to enjoy a little container of hummus and some, fresh carrots and cucumber slices or
Mhm.
whatever it may be. So
Yeah.
I'm still having a snack when my mom was, but it was just a healthier choice that my body needed and
Right.
not whatever she was eating.
And that's reality. I mean,
Mhm.
that's reality. We talked about that. I remember that call. Like, we talked like this is just reality. Like, sometimes it's spouses, sometimes it's family members, sometimes it's
Right,
church events where the stuff doesn't go away. It doesn't.
right.
And so it's understanding, yeah, like how do I navigate those conversations? Like, how do I pay attention to my body? How do I have grace with myself, even for the times
Mhm.
where, I'm going to choose to have that, and it's okay. That's okay as well. So
Right.
we can't live in isolation from all
Mhm.
that stuff. So
And because of learning how to adapt and how to navigate those things, it was easy to make it through those tougher times to go, okay, I do have a way through this. This is what I can say, or this is what I can choose to do. And it still keeps me on course to do well, with my mission here.
yeah,
And
yeah,
instead of
absolutely.
just going, okay, I'm done. I'm going to eat potato chips and French onion dip with you. I'm
Hmm.
no, I had another choice.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if you knew that there was a mom like you, where you were at the very beginning, who has been trying and failing and trying and failing with different diets, and maybe struggling with medical things and feeling tired and wondering if it's possible for them, what would you want to say to them about coming into the Mom Restore system?
I would tell them that it would be the absolute best thing that they could ever do. That you have a new group of friends that are in the same boat with you. Some are finishing their journey, some are just starting, but you've got people that come along beside you. You're never judged. Um, you are given encouragement. There are things that can just things that people say or just hear how they handled a certain situation can help you through it. And I would, just say, hey, you know, you gotta, at some point, you're gonna get tired of tending to everyone else but yourself. And
Yeah,
you owe it to yourself to do this
yeah,
and, regain back control of who you are so you can continue to be the best mom, be the best wife, be the best friend, whatever your roles are. You've got to
yeah,
get you got to make yourself a priority. And it's not hard to do. It's just making some simple lifestyle changes
yeah,
and refocus on yourself so then you can have the life that you need to focus on everybody else.
yeah. I love it. Yes, it's not hard. It's just
Mm-mm.
getting the support that you need. That's amazing. Well, Mandy, I'm just so proud of what you've done and so honored to have been a part of your journey. Thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.